You know what that blue box was? Yeah. It's just one in there. Yeah.
Hour and a half, so we're trying to keep time. My name, if you don't know me yet, is Vivian Willis. I'm the Executive Director of the Southeastern Museums and Conference, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2022 business meeting and keynote. But I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you for coming to SDMC 2022, to participating in the sessions, to enjoying the evening events, to patronizing the local venues, the bars, whatever you can do to give love to Northwest Arkansas, who have really been fabulous hosts this year. As I've said many times over the course of the week, conferencing we're in a transitional phase again. You know, 2020 got blown out of the water last year, we did hybrid, and now this year we're back, and it's different, and we're all learning how to do it again in this new environment. So I appreciate everybody's flexibility, your willingness to participate, to give feedback. I will just say all of those session evaluations and the QR codes, I want to thank Heather Nowak back there, our program administrator, for putting that all together. But please give us your feedback. There will be a full conference evaluation that comes out next week, so look for your emails on that. But again, like I said, we have a packed agenda this morning, so I'm going to turn it over now to Heather Marie Wells, who is SDMC's current president, and Matt Davis, who is our vice president.
Good morning, everybody. While Matt is coming up, I'm going to make a quick announcement that all current and new council members after the business meeting, please go out the floors to your left to the SDMC banner so we can get a current vote for action. I think that would help me. So I just want to say on behalf of all of the local arrangements committee and local institutions and museums and everything, we're so excited that you all have been here, and we've been enjoying the conference and our theme exhibiting change, and we're just beside ourselves still. I think I'm like every morning I'm like ask my husband, pinch me, is this really happening? Is it really finally here? And I can't believe this is our last day. So I hope you all have been enjoying it as much as I have. And that I would like, if you work at any of our evening host event institutions, please stand up. We were entertained, we were educated, there was fabulous conversation, loved it. And then our off-site workshops and tour hosts, if you work at any of these institutions, please stand up and let us thank you. Okay, and then this would not have happened without our co-hosts, Angie and Serena. So if you all would stand up, and then if you serve on the local arrangements committee, also stand up. Because we've put in a lot of our work these past 2 years, y'all, because there's So Beth Rivera-DeBerry was our chair for the program committee, and if you served on the program committee, please stand up, because the sessions this year were phenomenal.
Good job, Vivian.
And then our event team. The conference would not happen without these people in these institutions. So our annual meeting logo, produced by the Shawnee Museum of Ozark History. Nathan, where's Nathan? Doing all agree. If y'all stand up, let us thank you. Everybody's back. Is Carla in the room, or is she off? Carla? All of the emails and everything that you guys are getting as far as like, hey, members, remember this, remember to renew, and these are the cool programs that are coming out. It's all Carla. So thank you, Carla. All right, and then Matt's gonna thank our sponsors.
Good morning, everyone. What an incredible conference we've had. It's been a great time to come together once again to really appreciate and learn more about how we can better professionals at home. Now, what makes this conference possible is to support our industry partners and friends and provide sponsorships and support to make sure these conferences are possible. And so it's a small way to say thank you by going to a slideshow, but it is really, really critical to have the support. And we thank you so much for what they do to support what we do on a daily basis. I want to first recognize our platinum sponsors, which include Arkansas Tourism, the Smithsonian, Reckoning with our Racial Past, and Visit Rogers. Thank you so much. If you're a representative of this institution, please stand for a quick recognition. All right. Our board sponsors include Visit Bentonville, Christie's, Rich Strategies, the Gay Ward and Working Bounty Foundation, and the National Museum of African American History and Culture, the Office of Strategic Partnerships at Smithsonian. If you're a representative of any of those institutions in the room, please stand for recognition. Right. For our super sponsors, we have Atlayer Ford, Catalog, Charity Crowd, Collection Systems, Concert, Bonza or Display Silent Services, the Halsey Group, Novel Construction, Rigsport Designs, and Sunlight Inc. If you're a representative of any of those institutions, please stand and be recognized at this time. And for our bronze sponsors, we would like to thank Art Display Essentials, the 1031 Company, Bonsai Fine Arts Inc., Ergo Lighting, Exhibit Concepts Inc., Huey Kohler Designs, Bob Muck, Odyssey by History IT, our fundraising research, and U.S. Art Company. If you're representing any of those institutions, please stand and be recognized. And now, Dr. Becker, for our first beginner business meeting.
I'm going to call to order the business meeting. And the first item on our agenda is approving the minutes, which are on the back of the agenda. So I can have a motion. Okay, Matt, Darcy, second. All those in favor? Aye. Great. Any opposed? All right, great. And then Robin Reed is going to give our treasurer's report.
$1,800 begged me and still do this. Good morning, everybody. I'm your treasurer, and I'm not going to throw a lot of numbers at you today, but I did want to give you a narrative of the financial condition of your institution here at the Southeast Museum Conference. As all of you are very much aware, the last 3 years of COVID has been a very challenging time for nonprofits across the United States. Fortunately for SCMC, that has not been the case. Because of careful management and oversight by our executive director and oversight by our council, we've been able to not only maintain the status quo of our program, but been actually able to expand it. And this is for a couple of reasons. I just want to recognize a couple of people this morning as we move forward. In 2010, the president at that time, Dr. Bassett, decided that he and his group would try to raise the size of our endowment. And they almost doubled the original endowment. And today, our endowment is a little over $500,000, which is unusual for not only a regional group for us, but for state museum organizations. So give George and everybody who contributed that fund a round of applause. Under another president, Mr. Butler, he decided that we needed to have a reserve fund that has been able to sustain us through these last 3 COVID years. So even though we've been running a deficit budget, and that was passed by council, we've been able to make up the difference between what we need to create a balanced budget. We have a reserve fund, and our reserve fund is still pretty healthy. You can see the numbers on the screen. And it does show we have a deficit budget. I will tell you this, however, that we are slowly eroding what that final number is going to be, so we're pretty excited about that. And just one last comment, I want to thank everyone from our sponsors to our vendors, exhibitors, but more importantly to each of you individually as members of this organization. Without you, we are not able to sustain our programs. So you really are the backbone of this organization that helps us maintain our financial security. So give yourselves a round of applause and thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Darcy McMahon. I'm past president of SCMC. And it's actually kind of bittersweet because I'm rolling off the board after 12 years today. This is my last meeting, right? So I am here to talk about the nominations process for council members. And I want to say first just to echo Robin that SCMC is in really great shape financially as well as our membership and our officers and our nominees. So it's a happy moment for me to see how healthy we are, and I would encourage you to contribute to the endowment because that is the future of our health and vitality in addition to our membership. So what we have on the slide right now are the council officers. And we will have Matt Davis rotating from vice president into the presidency. We have Belinda Lee coming into the presidency, to vice presidency, and then hopefully the presidency. And Scott Albee is taking Robin's place as treasurer. Deidre Taylor has agreed, thankfully, to continue as secretary. She's down here right now, very busy. And then Heather Marie will be rotating into past president. So I'd like all of you all to please stand up. Belinda, Matt, Deidre, and then we have a nomination slate for council directors. Thankfully, Alex and Lance have both agreed to a second term. Alex and Lance, please stand up. Yes. And new to the council, nominees for council, Taffany English and Michelle Schulte. And Taffany and Michelle, if you would please stand up. You're here. I think I need to call for a motion to approve the slate of nominees. Do I hear a motion? Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all, and with this leadership, there's going to still be more exciting things to come. But with new people coming on the board, that means we have other people rotating off. Darcy, as she mentioned, has served 2 terms as past president, which is a little unusual, but with Zinnia moving up to the executive directorship, Darcy agreed to stay on and be past president and still help me as president and the rest of the council with her words of wise wisdom and her fun and vitality, and I thank you, and I really, really appreciate that you stayed with us. And then Robin Reed, who also agreed to serve 2 terms as treasurer, which I have to tell you all, I'm a liberal arts major. Numbers make me queasy. So anybody who steps up and agrees to be treasurer, and especially in large organizations and regional organizations, my mind is blown, and I admire them so much. So, and Robin has been a mentor to me for 15 years, and so I've really appreciated it. And again, his wit, his charm, and he always comes in discussions with just great observations. And then Katie May is leaving our region. She's taking a new job in Oregon, so we're going to miss her as well. But I just want to ask all of you to give a round of applause to their service. And then Celia doesn't know this. I'm going to go off script just a little now that I'm past president. And she's like, I'm going to take the right. I just wanted to say that it has been my honor and my privilege to serve as your president these past 2 years. It has been an unbelievably strange ride. We moved up to executive director, so I was interim. Pandemic hit, and it was like, okay, how do we pivot? And I think, is everybody else tired of that word as much as I am? But we did it. And I truly believe that all of us on the council are now stronger leaders because of the past 2 years. I believe everybody in this room are stronger professionals because of the past 2 years. And I believe that at the foundation of that, and one of the reasons why we are stronger is because we have stuck together. And we figured out, no matter what, we'll pivot, we'll be virtual, but we'll still be together. We'll figure out a way for all of us to come together and commune together, share our ideas, keep the conversations going, teach each other, learn from each other. And I know I stand here because I stand on the shoulders of so many of you who have been great mentors and friends and colleagues. And I just want to say thank you. And I love you all, and I'm truly blessed to have such a family as all of you in this room. And a lot of that, I have to say a big thank you to Zinnia as well. She hasn't stopped. I don't know where she gets all this energy, and she does it with such grace and such poise. And if I can be half the person anywhere in the air, then I know I've accomplished something. So, again, as Helen just let everybody know, we've had a difficult few years. It's been a difficult few years for everybody, but we are coming out of this pandemic stronger. I think a different organization. I think we are for change. Who went to tabletop last night? Okay, that is a good many change. It's something that we did, and I'm really excited the way that this organization is moving. It has been my privilege to be the director during a strange time. We say that Susan Perry must have had a crystal ball. She retired. She retired just at the right time. But again, just echoing to Darcy and Robin, the sort of longer lens of leadership within the council has really helped me over these past 2 years, just to keep the wheels turning, keep positive, and keep things going forward. So that being said, we just wanted to talk a few highlights of things that have happened over the last year with SCMC. I know everybody reads our e-news, which I spend all kinds of time doing, but there's a lot of communications that come at you, so you may or may not know about all of the programming that's going on. But just if you look at some of the slides, we last year published our Inside SCMC publication. It comes out in the spring, in the fall, and then in the winter. This is a great way to get published. If you're doing something in your organization that you want the rest of the region to know about, send us an article, highlight a staff member, highlight a new program. Make
Malner does all our designs and online publications, so we're able to hyperlink all of the ads, all of our corporate sponsorship that's in there, so it's also a good way to look for industry partners, for people, for services that you may need. Another thing that was really significant this past year is we won the Leadership Institute in person. This was a program, we've really ramped up our programming quite a bit. I feel like we used to be very much concentrated on just the annual meeting, and now we're doing virtual programming all year. Every single month there is a free virtual program, some sort of professional development opportunity available to the membership, but we've also brought back in-person programming. So in April, we had a cohort of 16 Leadership Institute graduates. They spent 5 days in Charlotte, North Carolina, just learning about the trends moving forward, how to be inclusive, reach across communities as leaders. So I was very proud to be part of that. Many of them, if you were in the Leadership Institute this past year, could you please stand? I know there's a bunch of you, I just want to see. Thank you all for being here. Last year we did a hybrid conference. That was really hard to execute. But, the 2021, it was a different time, and we were trying to meet people where they were, whether you were comfortable coming back in person or you needed to be virtual. And so we pulled it off. And I was really proud of our teams, our staff, and everybody who participated. It'll be one of those that you look back at and go, remember 2021 in Chattanooga? But we all had that experience together, and so I'm very proud of it. We've worked a lot on branding this past year. Our social media pages are more than we've ever done. If you don't follow us now, we're on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and the postings are hopefully continue to be engaging, promoting our programs. But we also have a new look. Erin Banks, who I work with at the Gibbs Museum of Art, and sort of following me into this next phase of my career, does all of our social media graphics. So now that SCMC has a look, we have a brand, and I'm really proud of how that's all progressed. Another thing, some partnerships that we have up there. That Landing the Job virtual program was a partnership between SCMC and the Association of Academic Museums and Galleries. Because one of the things that I feel like our organization needs to continue to work on is our student engagement. How to bring students who are emerging into the field into our fold. Well, AAMG has a direct pipeline to a lot of these students, so we just, casual conversation all of a sudden becomes a program. And we ended up we called it Landing the Job, and we did a resume review, a resume match, and some of you may have participated. We asked people to either commit 30 minutes to meet with a student, to just get on Zoom and look at their resume. And I did it for a few students, and it was really gratifying just where I am in my own career to be engaged like that. And I feel like the students got a lot out of it too. And then the Landing the Job was, again, it was a virtual program, but we talked about, you have to do interviews on Zoom, like just the new age that we're in. I will just give a plug. I don't even know what date it is, but on November the 9th, we are doing the second iteration of, and we called it the Launchpad. So this is a collaboration between two professional organizations that is new and different. But the first program was called Landing the Job. The next program is being called Taking Off. And it's geared more towards mid-career professionals. So again, this will be a virtual program. You'll start seeing the graphics for it coming out. But anyway, so do you have any? Sorry, I'm just all that. I just get rolling.
I think this isn't necessarily a 2022 highlight, but I think the other thing that we need to mention and shout out is that we're relaunching Jimmy. Jimmy is back. We have 4 full scholarships. Since we weren't able to have Jimmy in person the past 2 years, the endowment
We may extend that a week. I know it's been a busy time. I also know that most of y'all submit your applications on the deadline. So that's okay. We will keep ready and waiting. Quickly, before we move into our keynote portion, I'm sorry. I know it's like museum people speak their own language all the time. So Jimmy is the Jekyll Island Management Institute. I talked a little bit about the Leadership Institute, which is geared more towards mid-career professionals, people moving into leadership positions. Jekyll Island Management Institute is an 8-day in-person program. So it is an immersive experience, and we're sort of designing it in the relaunch to almost be like a mini conference about how to operate museums. So if you attend Jimmy, you're going to learn a little bit about a lot. And this is a foundational program that has been around SCMC for the last 20 years, with very strong leadership, very strong faculty who are experts in the field at what they do, and have a lot of it, though, about Jimmy, too, you can tell from the alumni, is about creating the network, creating the community of practice, and going through the experience together. We had to pause it for 2020. 2021, we were still in the same situation. We took that time to do an evaluation of the program and to just really get some feedback from the alumni, what they liked, what they didn't, where it's going to go. And so we are very excited, and it's coming up soon here. Heather and I was already thinking what I need to do, like tomorrow, to just keep moving forward. But please, there are Jimmy alums. If you're a Jimmy alum, please stand up. Let's see how many of you there are. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay. Okay, they have two. All right, and now, so I am going to speed things up just a little bit because I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for our keynote. Real quick, I wanted to introduce something new. Again, this year has been about partnerships. It's been about rebuilding. It's been about moving forward. I think it was Robin or Darcy, or probably both of them, mentioned the endowment. SCMC has lots of different funding buckets now. If you are interested in supporting the organization monetarily, we know you all do that through membership. We're very appreciative of it. But there are also, if you're very passionate about the Jekyll Island Management Institute or the Leadership Institute, all these programs require dollars to run. But I'm really pleased today to tell you all about a new funding bucket that we're having, this internship fund. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it came to be and what it is. So just bear with me for a minute. I'm actually going to read a letter. The long and short is that we now have an endowed fund for small organizations who want to have an intern to be able to apply for these funds to pay that intern. Because we know that there are so many organizations that just don't have that extra funding. They can't necessarily find sponsorship money. And the interns need to be paid. I think the days of the free internships are behind us, and this is, again, a step in the right direction. This fund isn't actually going to be available to apply for until next year due to our investment policy, which was put in place by people much smarter than me in terms of how to manage our money. But I just want to read, and I hope you find it meaningful, why we have this fund. Joy Tahan Riddell, who is a friend of mine, this is her mother, who I'm going to, Kandumi Tahan, and Joy approached me about 6 months ago, and she said, my mother passed away a few years ago. She comes from the museum field, and she was very passionate about this. But I want to tell you, Joy lives in California, and she chose SCMC as the regional organization to receive these funds. So I'm just going to read very quickly. I actually asked her to do a video, and she said, I can't do a video. But she said, my name is Joy Tahan Riddell, and I've worked in the museum field for almost 30 years. I fell in love with museums at an early age and was thrilled when I learned I could actually work in one. Like many of you, I went to graduate school and interned at many museums, large and small. I was fortunate to have parents who could support me through school, paying my tuition and helping with my living expenses while I was interning full-time and not getting paid. This is a privilege that I am well aware most do not receive. My parents were both supportive throughout my career. After my father died 20 years ago, my mother became my biggest cheerleader. my stable museum job 6.5 years ago to pursue my next phase as a museum consultant, my mother, Hanjumi, wholeheartedly supported my goals. She inspired me to be more, to be the best I could be, no matter what I was doing. My parents were born during the Great Depression. They knew what it was like to struggle and how hard it was to succeed without support. Both of my parents worked hard to succeed and believed deeply in giving back. My mother passed away 2 years ago after a valiant fight with pancreatic cancer. She retained her humor and generosity through her illness and inspired me to continue her legacy of giving by donating funds to begin the Hanjumi J. Tahan Internship Fund. Museums need to find ways to compensate all professionals for the work they do, including interns. I know that many small museums cannot afford to pay their interns. Not only does this make it hard for emerging professionals to secure internships, it also limits the internship pool that a small staff can benefit from. While only a small step, I hope this fund can help small museums benefit from the exciting new talent that is out there looking for museum projects. And then she has a whole paragraph about me, but I'm not going to read it. Anyhow, she just said, I hope that you all will consider also donating to SCMC to help strengthen this fund and expand the potential recipients of these internship stipends. So I'm really proud to have been part of this relationship with Joy to honor her mother, and that SCMC will be able to offer small museums an opportunity to secure funding to do their interns. So let's all give a round of applause. We are moving into the keynote part of our the keynote part of our presentation. And before we do, I have asked Cynthia Torp of Solid Light to say a few words. Solid Light is the sponsor of today's keynote presentation. Cynthia has been a major supporter of SCMC personally and through her company for many, many years. It's my pleasure to see you again here.
Good morning. Thank you to the Local Arrangements Committee and Amelia and Heather Marie and the Council for a wonderful conference. It's been so great to be with all of you. Solid Light is proud to sponsor the keynote speaker and really excited to hear from Montje shortly. I believe in the power of this conference, gathering together to share and learn from each other. And this year's theme, Exhibiting Change, is strongly aligned with Solid Light's mission and values. I started Solid Light more than 23 years ago. I cannot believe it's been that long. To tell stories, but not just to tell the stories of the victors, but to tell the stories that truly encompass the human experience. Stories that transform what we've been taught to believe is truth. Stories through multiple lenses of experience. Museums are not singular, and the stories we tell are not singular, and the communities we serve are not singular, and the career paths in our industry are not singular. We've seen a lot of change over the last few years in how we live, and how we work, and how we serve. Change isn't bad. Change is necessary to adapt, to learn, to grow, to evolve. And I'm proud of the change that we're making in museums. But we still have a lot more work to do. We need to keep examining how we tell stories and change to be even more inclusive and accessible. We need to keep exploring how we serve our communities and make the changes to provide what our communities need, what we think they need. We need to keep examining how we write our job descriptions and challenge, disrupt the traditional pipelines that have kept so many promising professionals from entering our field. We need to keep looking at how we operate and ensure that our work is truly aligned with our missions and not just our funders' dollars. Change is uncomfortable. Change is progress. Change is necessary. Let's challenge ourselves to embrace this year's theme of exhibiting change. And in the words of Gandhi, be the change you want to see. Thank you.
Now I'm asking Angie Albright, who is the director of the Asylum Museum of Ozark History and a fabulous event host from last night, to introduce our 2022 keynote speaker.
Good morning. In the planning of this week's conference event, Nina and my co-chair, Christina Barnett, and I went round and round trying to think of who might speak to all of us today who could represent Arkansas. We kept coming up with lots of interesting possibilities, but looking back, I see now that they all represent the past. When we turned our focus to the future of the Southeast and of our state, and when we thought about who best represents our comfort state of exhibiting change, one person really came to the fore, and that's Keontae Mills Fletcher, known by many as Key. I don't know if Key would see it this way, but I've heard her talk about it enough privately and publicly that I think it's safe to say Hurricane Katrina was a turning point in her and her family's life. They came to Arkansas to escape the devastation in Louisiana, and they made a full life here. Talk about exhibiting change, right? Arkansas was so very lucky that they made that decision and then decided to stay here and put down roots. I was immediately drawn to Key's biography and that we share a love of language and story, and we both have degrees in literature. She earned her bachelor's in broadcast journalism and her master's in English language and literature from Northwestern State in Natchitoches, Louisiana. I'm betting you have quite a few English and journalism majors in the room. Any English majors? It's no surprise that lovers of stories would find their way to museum work. She started her tenure at Mosaic Templars Cultural Center in Little Rock, our state's premier museum of African American history, in 2007 as Director of Education, later becoming the Assistant Director, and in May of last year, the Executive Director. 15 years is plenty of time to witness lots of change and to be on the forefront of leading NTCC's rebuilding. In 2005, while undergoing restoration, the museum burned to the ground. The Arkansas Department of Arkansas Heritage and a staff of dedicated photographers made sure it was rebuilt and it reopened in 2008. Again, an organization exhibiting change. And now he is leading another change for NTCC, both physically and philosophically. In a recent conversation, she told me that their efforts are focused now on showing how the whole state, the importance of Black representation and extending their reach beyond just Little Rock. They want us all to know that they are a nationally accredited and world-class museum, and I can confirm this. I was there a few months ago, and it's the kind of place you get lost in, and that you can immerse yourself in the history and the story of the Black experience in Arkansas. And it goes beyond Mosaic Templars, of course. And on the third floor, there is an exhibit about the Black Hall of Fame, and I was just going to walk by it. I was kind of in a hurry, and the coach put my head in. And like an hour later, I read, it's full of stories of excellence and creativity and profound insight. He and I have had a couple of conversations about how Arkansas history is world history. And I'm sure we can all say that about the places that we call home in some way. But we're parts of Arkansas. This work is also deeply personal. Mosaic Templars and Museum work, she says, has shaped who she is as a person. She wants that for every visitor and student who experiences their site. And I think this is the best of what museums can do. They can change us, and they can make our communities more vibrant. I'm so happy to introduce our keynote speaker today, this woman who represents so much of what we love about our state. And I know you'll join me in welcoming you to the stage. so much for having me here today. This is at my beautiful little museum where I'm the executive director and I get a chance to work at the world-class nationally accredited Mosaic Temperance Culture Center. Change is a four-letter word I would like to think oftentimes for museum professionals, but not for us, because we exhibit excellence in museums. So, 2 months ago, my daughter was sad. She was freaking out, and I must admit, I was kind of freaking out too. Although I don't really know why. See, we were late, but we were usually late. Constantly running from one event to the next. We got swim, we got soccer, we got tutoring. I don't know how we ever made it anywhere on time, but for this particular reason, she was freaking out. You see, we had come home, and it was time for her virtual tutoring session. Everything's virtual right now. You guys know how it is. We were late, and she was having a breakdown. I looked at her in the face, and I could tell this wasn't going to go the way I had actually planned. And so I told her to calm down, and she said, "How can I calm down? I don't have my money late." And I told her to take a breath and come to me. She put her hands on her hips and looked at me like she was absolutely crazy. I said, "Chill, girl. Come to me." I could tell that she was clearly pissed at me, because at this point, she was 7 minutes late. And in 11-year-old world, 7 minutes is 9,876.22 minutes late. But finally, she came to me. I grabbed her hands. I said, "Take a deep breath and slow down." She did it, and I said, "Let's do it again. Deep breath in, slow down." I had her do it with me one more time. And I told her that I had already talked to her tutor and told her that we were going to be late, and that she probably needed to take a few more minutes to calm down, because with that attitude, there was no way we were going to get through math tutoring that night. And she listened to me, and she calmed down. James Clear says that we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of the systems that we have in place. Now, on that day, our goal was to be on time, and clearly, we failed. But the system that we had in place was to take a second, breathe, and work through it. Now, we have had amazing conferences. We tons of posts on my board at work, and I'm constantly spouting off those posts because it is a part of surrounding myself with a winning attitude. I think all I do is win. Anybody that knows me will tell you, I say all the time, all I do is win. I have no choice but to win. Surrounding ourselves with a culture of winning. So even as you think about creating culturally relevant space and telling yourself, I will win at this, all I do is win. Another thing that I do is I commit to meeting with at least 10 different people a month. Now I know that's not especially for us who are executive directors. But if I am going to be a winner, I have to surround myself with winners, with people who think differently than I do, with people who challenge and step outside of the space. If I'm going to have a world-class National Academic Museum, I can't continue to hide behind my desk, right? And thankfully, now, we've got Zoom. So you don't have to necessarily go across the country to talk to somebody who's completely different than you. You can simply click the link and you can have that conversation. I know what it means to surround yourself with a tribe because this past year, the museum had its largest Juneteenth celebration. We went from having just one event to having 7 events. And we didn't do them all ourselves. I knocked on the doors of the people that were a part of my tribe. And every single person in the community told me yes. And they didn't tell me yes because it was just key. They told me yes because I had built a tribe. I had surrounded myself with people who knew who I was and knew what I wanted to do, and I had built the intentional relationships. You've got to take the time to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people so that when you get ready to think about what it is you want to do, it's already established. Now, I did have one person that told me no. But, to his defense, he has a job where he's literally in like 5 different countries at one time. I'll let him pass, because I was about to have him mess up my ego. The next thing is being inclusive. We have got to toss out those old ideas. I want everybody to close your eyes. No, I'm making life close your eyes. All right. So, imagine what the most important, the very best professional you need looks like. Whether that's an executive director, whether it's a curator or an archivist, whatever it is you need for your company, your business, your institution, what do they look like? What do they sound like? What does their resume look like? What experience do they have? Okay, now I want you to picture a gym. And I want you to picture a 20-something-year-old on an elliptical machine. Now check out this 20-something-year-old t-shirt. It's one of those t-shirts that you got when you were in college because you still got the paper for a credit card. They gave you a t-shirt. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And that t-shirt has ketchup stains on it. Because the college student washed it and didn't put any dot on it, so now those stains are so good. And the sleeves are ripped off the t-shirt. And then the college kid has those sweatpants that they cut off and made into shorts and some funky sneakers. Now this college student is on an elliptical machine. This college student got a job because they were in the gym reading a trashy romance novel. What if I told you that college student is now that college student is now your keynote speaker today? My boss she took a chance on me, literally out of the blue. But she threw out the rule book that said a person has to have a certain resume. And when asked why woman. She poached her from the local hardware store. And she went on to work for the National Park Service as well for over 6 years. What if you threw out the rule book that says they have to have years of museum experience? What if you threw out the rule book that says they have to have a degree? In order to really be culturally inclusive, we have to begin to change how we practice the work that we do. We have all these new initiatives, DEI, JEDI, inclusion officers, chief equity officers, but yet we look at our statistics and they are still the same. Only 12% of museum leaders are of color. So it's saying while we still have all these initiatives, there's a huge gaping hole. And the leaders in this room are the ones who can make that change. Gotta have a master plan. Thinking of a master plan. You gotta have a master plan. You gotta keep it simple. So my team knows we have 5 P's. And we're actually exhibiting one of those P's or saying, what is it? Professional development. Part of my master plan, and they are non-negotiable. Even in the midst of being short-staffed, my team was considering not coming today. I was like, absolutely not. Number one, these folks got to do a lot of excellence. Look like, stand up, y'all. We forget to train the next upcoming leaders. Make sure that if you have a plan, you stick to it and you find a way to make it happen no matter what. And so we call volunteers to do our education programs. We ask other team members to step in, but we make sure that we stuck to our main plan, which is ensuring that professional development is a priority for our people. Many of us never got professional development, right? We just kind of need it. Some of y'all still need it. So make sure that you stick to that master plan. And the last one is, you have to be willing to evolve and to be open to change. Our museum is a perfect example of that. You all heard the story earlier. We had an amazing idea to take an existing building and create the first Black History Museum that was state funded in Arkansas. Unfortunately, that building burned down in March of 2005. But that did not stop the master plan. We evolved, and we created a new structure that was a faithful facsimile of the original. We thought in 2018 to make sure that we finished the funding for our campaign that we had to completely redo our exhibits. 2 years later, COVID happened. It pushed back our efforts, but we didn't stop. We evolved. We had a $3 billion project that was pushed back. We were plagued with staffing issues, changes in executive directors, but we didn't stop. And because of that, today we are nationally accredited. We have finished our $3.5 million transformation because, COVID happened and things went up. And next fall, we are on point to open a brand new museum, more inclusive, more diverse than ever. We are also including a new children's gallery, one that the country has never seen before, one that at the age of 3, children can come in and learn what it means to be diverse, what it means to be included, and what it means to have a space designed exactly for them. So you've got to be open for change, you've got to be willing to evolve. Now I know most of us see these photos and we know exactly where we are. And I thought that this photo is the perfect cap for time. Now there's a whole African proverb that says, if you want to go quick, go alone. 40s that didn't come into fruition until the 60s. To have a march that the country had never seen before, he started with a tribe. This tribe was known as the Big Six. He surrounded himself with winners. They all had different ideas and ways that they thought about going about to make it happen. Those like Mr. Farmer, Mr. Whitney, Dr. King, John Lewis, they had a vision and they worked together. And they had to be inclusive and throw out some of their old ideas, which meant making sure that they included women in the process, making sure that they included Jewish Americans in the process, and even Damon Rustin representing the LGBTQ community. They had to have a master plan. They pulled off the March on Washington in 3 months. You can't tell me that you can't do that without having a master plan. And finally, they had to evolve. Literally the day of, as Medgar Evers' widow, Merle, was expected to speak at the March on Washington, but she was stuck in traffic. So who did they get? A Black Arkansas woman, of course, Miss Daisy Bates. So we always have to take the time to be open for change. Because of this, they put together what was one of the most important movements of our time, of our parents' time, of our grandparents' time. What started off at 25,000 went to 100,000, and then to over 250,000 people. The March on Washington led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And it happened because they decided to go further together. Systems don't happen overnight because we want them to. They happen over time because we will them to. And so we have to ask ourselves, what are we willing to commit? Will we get up a little earlier? Will we talk to HR about changing some of our policies? Will we host potlucks and ask everybody to come together? But just making sure you're careful about who brings the potato salad. But we've got to come up with the change. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you have the courage to ask for, even long after it feels like it will never be possible. Now, I'm not asking you to run to your boss's office when you get back and demand change. I'm not asking you to go to your executive board and do that either. And if you do, don't tell them that. Don't use my name. What I am asking you to do is to run to your office. Think about who your tribe is. Throw out some of those old ideas. Make a plan and make sure that you're open to evolve. Even in the midst of being fearful and hesitant, the Mosaic Templars have made some amazing changes and strides. We continue to push the envelope forward. And yes, we do fail. But really, failure is for winners. You see, only real winners know that at some point you're going to fail along the process. But even though we fail, we never lose. The fact that a young girl who was on that elliptical that sweaty day, reading a trashy novel, got a job at the National Park Service is testament to that. The fact that we don't just tell African American history, but we tell a history that started on the shores and the rivers and flowed through the Middle Passage. That history is not just Arkansas history or the United States history, but that it is world history, is evident of that. I now wear 2 watches. One of them doesn't work.
work. It just is there as a reminder of my mom, who died of COVID last year. This is my mom's watch. But I use it to remind me every day of how valuable and how important time is. It's something that we can't get back. Each of us are in our institutions right now for a certain time, for a specific reason. Use that time to move forward initiatives that will make sure that we continue to change the face of our museums. You can either stay status quo where you are, or you can be a part of the evolving, exciting change that we're seeing at SCMC and across the world. The time is ticking, and it is your choice. Thank you. I think people do this all the time. All right. Here we go, guys. Say cheese. Yeah. All right, do we have any questions? How much time do I have? Any questions? So I'm going to say my team. I'm going to put them on the spot. What are the 5 P's?
Professional development.
Professional development.
Phase 2.
Phase 2, which was getting our $2.5 million.
Programming virtually.
Program virtually. So since COVID, we realized that a lot of museums and people step into virtual programming, but then after COVID they changed. It's really kind of transformed for us everything that we do. And not only just like what we think of in terms of outward-facing programming virtually, but also for the team. So we've got a team member that has to stay home and take care of their kid, or maybe they're at an appointment. We want to be able to provide as many virtual opportunities as possible. So not only for the community or for the world, because we're world-class. We want everybody to know what's happening in Arkansas in terms of African American history and culture. But we want to make sure that internally we're not making it difficult for team members to come. Well, you can't come to the meeting here where you just miss it. So we want to make sure that we're really inclusive in terms of providing more virtual options and everything that we do, even in our programming. With Juneteenth, we literally broke the internet by holding our Juneteenth virtually. We used Blue Jeans, and they had never seen people use Blue Jeans the way that we did. So Verizon called us in and began to talk to us about the processes and how we use their system to host Juneteenth virtually. So we also make it an initiative to make sure that almost all of our programs have some type of virtual component. So that's the programming virtually. So professional development, virtual programming, phase 2.
Partnerships.
You guys heard me say talking to 10 people a month. I challenge my team to do that also. But also partnerships with the community and partnerships with you all. Again, I can't be a nationally accredited world-class museum staying in the board of Arkansas. So we really push the envelope on what it looks like to making sure that we're getting out and connecting with people across the country. What's the business?
Promoting Black business.
Promoting Black business. Because the model of which we sit on, the museum was founded by 2 men who were formerly enslaved entrepreneurs. They started a business called the Mosaic Templars that started as an insurance company, but it grew to a nursing school, a hospital, a savings and a publication. The corridor which the museum sits was the Black business district for Arkansas. So we can't continue to do what we do without honoring and recognizing the history that got us there. And so for us, making sure that we are very intentional about supporting Black business, making sure that we're partnering with Black businesses, making sure that our museum store, my goal is to have over 75% of our things in our museum store come from African American entrepreneurs from Arkansas. So really being intentional about the work that we do, our caterers, the vendors that we deal with, really making sure that we are very intentional about promoting Black excellence within vendors. So those are my 5 P's that we use. We did it last year, and it kind of we tweaked it a little bit, right? We had a master National Historic Site. And so it was right around the 50th commemoration of desegregation. And my husband's job actually transferred him there. And so that's how we ended up in Little Rock.
It's so awesome to see so many communities benefiting from those folks as us in Rock.
I absolutely love it.
Across the South.
Go LSU. Oh, probably I would say phase 2. We had a goal of raising $3 million to completely renovate the museum, and it was a task in the middle of COVID, and it stalled for a minute. But I put it on my board as one of our priorities. And everybody that I talked to, I said, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I have faith, I believe it's going to happen. And last month, we got all of our money. And so getting that over $3 million was probably the biggest win of this year. Partnership that we have with PBS is an Emmy-nominated partnership. We're super excited about that, and I have Courtney Bradford, who is our first African-American curator, did an amazing program on oral history with PBS. I have my deputy director here, who really pushed the envelope in challenging us to create a children's gallery, having a white education director at that time, helping formulate what children's gallery on diversity and inclusion. Really kind of opened us up to some things that were missing. And of course, I can't forget Whitney, our education assistant, who was a former teacher and stepped into the role of education director this past year, has really been helping us to really also think about what teachers want in the museum. So that's really another big win for me. So even though we have such a small staff and we're constantly losing people, you guys know, museums can't keep up in terms of what we offer with some other private sector offers. But another big win is kind of having a staff that continues to be supportive and stand by my vision, hopefully because they love me. Any other? Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned sort of going outside the box on job descriptions, and I wondered if you had any good resources for that you found.
So yes, absolutely. So one of the things that we do that we started doing, actually, I would probably say earlier this year or maybe last year, is we started doing like personality tests. And so for us, that's really important because I think sometimes we tend to want to hire people who think like us, maybe look like us, and sometimes it's not intentional, it just kind of happens. And so we've really been using those personality models because we really want a broad spectrum in terms of our museum. We realize that it takes a little bit of everyone. And so we really use those personality tests along with other things to help us determine who the best fit is for our museum. I would also say going outside of the museum field, particularly with Arkansas, because when we open jobs, 9 times out of 10, we're not going to get people outside of the state. We're not even going to get people outside of Little Rock who apply for those jobs. Usually we're going to get people who are in Little Rock. And so what we've been doing quite thinking about everybody. We right now have our museum store manager position. We decided to tweak that and to change the title of it to visitor service experience. And realizing, somebody that has really amazing skills in retail management, somebody who's maybe worked for a Chick-fil-A or Popeyes or whatever, could possibly be a really good fit. It doesn't have to be somebody who has museum experience. So we've really been looking at hard skills and soft skills and kind of thinking outside of the box in terms of who we are.